You don't want to talk about... Never mind.
Nope.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Nope, I don't.
I want to talk about the fine religion of Judaism.
Judaism. Well, I have lots of Jew friends. They're the best.
Jewish
friends. Sorry, it's not going to be good. We just shouldn't talk about it.
I have blank friends.
We believe Chrome exists.
Yeah. Chromists. All right. Well, I'm ready. If you guys are. Are you ready? You're ready. I'm ready. Yeah. We're all ready. Great. Here goes.
I'm not, but my body is.
Good. Hold on. Is that hit record? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Begins in 3, 2, 1. Greetings and hello and welcome to There Will Be Dungeons at therewillbedungeons.com, episode 47 of There Will Be Dungeons. I'm Scott Johnson with Bo Schwartz, John Jagger, Kristen Ashton, and Kyle Ferguson. Once again, bringing you the latest and greatest in D&D action. Maybe not, but something like that, something akin to that. Now, what we do here on the show before we get going with today's session, like we do with every session, is we read an email from one of our listeners, and today is no different. They sent this email by going to the website, therewillbedungeons.com. It came from Brian, who says, I just want to let you know that the TWBD podcast has had the unexpected consequence of helping me sleep better. I am in no way of saying it's boring. In fact, it's quite interesting, but the calmness, the pacing, the atmosphere of the podcast really helps me sleep. I suffer a lot from anxiety disorders and sleep apnea, so I have to work on my sleep ritual. It's just not easy for me to fall asleep. I have had to piece together different things that work for me to make sleep possible. TWBD has been helpful to me, and I wanted you to know, and all that are involved in the show. When a new episode comes out, I know I will get the best sleep of my week. I enjoy your episodes. Thanks for making it. Best to all of you. Brian Brooks. Well, Brian, I've decided to take it as a compliment and not a notice that we're boring or put people to sleep. So I'm
I would
happy.
also say if you would instead of casting his sleep as a ritual, but actually use a spell slot, then he can sleep right away.
Can he?
And he'd recover the spell slot because he's having a long rest just right after casting it.
Nice.
So it's perfect.
I mean, I can understand our tempo and certain cast members' dulcet tones lulling people into sleep, but then Bo would scream into the microphone, and I don't know how he sleeps.
He go, one of those.
We stab a guy. Wake
Yeah.
up.
I hope you're sleeping now, Brian. But thank you for the email. And if you'd like to send your own again, therewillbedungeons.com is where you want to go to do it. It's going to do it for that. We will now allow we'll not allow her to do it. She's going to do it no matter what. Kristen will now do the thing she does so well, which is recap last week's adventures. Kristen?
Right, last time on There Will Be Dungeons, surrounded! A band of baddies brought with them baleful blows. Though they were decidedly dispatched, the lizard lapsed, losing lustiness, but for a limited lull. Upon recovery, the headaches had halted. A quick comb concluded with a cloak concealing components that, when called, created contraptions. They moved on. Eventually, they recognized the ramblings of the royal troll ringing from behind ransacked rocks. Instead of interrupting, they opted to observe an earlier opening. There, they found green glowing ground and a gripping garble. Burying beans they had earlier brought, a beanstalk climbed to a closed cleft that cracked with a key. They shimmied up the stalk into a stagnant cell swamped with tiefling skeletons. This put out into a passageway of other portcullises and an exit enriched by enchanted armor that sought the touch of a tiefling to traverse. Next was a remarkable room with a pentagram, podium, and print. Diantalis and Hope took to the text. It opened to nothing. Then a scene near a tree. Then a tiefling looking at the scene. Then a tiefling looking at the readers. Then a tiefling running toward them. A tiefling desperately pleading for help. Diantalis closed the book. Now rejoin our heroes as they search through the ruins of a tiefling empire forgotten long ago by the denizens of the Teat.
Oh, well done as always. All right, Bo, it's on you now to make it fun. No pressure.
Well, it's on all of us to make it fun.
Sure.
Diantalis stands upon a small riser a stage-like construct made of stone, about a foot up above everyone else, near a podium, having just slammed the large book shut atop it. There's a large pentagram etched into the floor, and Nash, Vorel, and Hope are standing on the outside of it, observing Diantalis as he studied the book. The room is musty, smells ancient, as if fresh air had not been in here for many hundreds of years. There's a thick layer of damp, dusty, greasy dust on the brick walls and the brick floor. The room you came in, the door to the room you came in is closed, and there's a second door opposite the other side of the room.
Well, this book seems to house some sort of prisoner, perhaps. It is definitely powerful magic. I don't fully understand how it works and would advise against messing with it further.
And as you say that, punctuated by the end of your sentence, the book hops up like an inch, shakes, and then drops back down.
Case in point.
Nash says, "Bah!"
What was in the book?
Don't touch it.
As I flipped through the pages, I observed a tiefling. Was it a man or a woman?
It's a man.
A tiefling man who seemed to be able to see beyond the book itself, and then seemed to approach as if trying to escape from the book. And then I closed it.
So we move on then.
The book jumps from the podium again, a small inch, and then slams back down. It being way heavier than it looks or should be, slams back down the podium with a loud boom.
Maybe we should bury it or kill it or burn it.
And as if a force from the inside was knocking at it, it's sort of, you hear like a and with each, it slides a bit along the podium.
That was like a
Yeah,
European
can we light
dance.
it on fire?
Yeah, we could burn it.
This is really your immediate reaction to something magical and beyond your understanding, to simply light it on fire.
You think we leave it here and nothing happens? It's not. We're not. That won't go that way. We'll leave it here and then it'll follow us or get revenge later or something terrible will happen. We've learned this.
You are basically the most primitive people I have ever encountered in my life.
And he's lived a long time.
You picked the wrong guy to inhabit then.
Just as an aside, a little editor's note.
Well, he didn't say it, so I just want to, it's a DM note.
Okay. Do we know how old he
You
is?
all may do what you wish, but tampering with this book is dangerous. I tried to identify it, and it resisted. I used detect magic upon it, and it resisted. This book is very powerful. That should be respected.
Can we at least wrap it with a rope or something?
We've already tried to lift it. It doesn't want to be lifted. It wants to be opened, and it wants to be read.
The pounding continues.
Perhaps it is confused that it is a book and requires clarification. Do we have a writing utensil?
What, like a pen?
Yes. One to make such write on the cover that you are a book. Perhaps it will calm down.
For the record, I like this plan.
Yeah.
Just as Bo, not speaking as your DM, but as Bo, I like this plan.
I don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't carry anything to write with.
No. Although I will say Varel's plan, and this is saying something, is better than anything else that's been suggested thus far.
Wait a minute.
should
What do
make
you
use-
what do you know about it then? Are we playing a game here? What do you mean it's the best plan? How do you know what the best plan is?
It's the best plan because it at least shows some proper respect to something beyond any of us.
Oh, you mean it's
There's
not
a
as
chance we open this book and we get trapped inside it, or swap places with whatever's in it, or release whatever's in it out into the world. I would think you three, of all people, should be familiar with the concept of how things can go wrong when something locked up gets out.
Like yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think he means my
We should-
idea was dumber than your idea. That's what he means.
Well, we should at least tie it down so our followers, our 26ers, don't follow up, open a book, and release some sort of spirit upon themselves.
It's good enough. Does anyone have anything to do that with?
Hope will kind of casually glance over to the cloak.
Oh shit!
You can't hide your inventory from the rest of your team. It's all stitched on the outside. All of the things.
Yeah, you're right. It is. Hold on a second. I gotta find the the image I made of all the writing I wrote down because I can't remember what's on it.
You made an image of it?
Yeah, I wrote it down and then took a picture of it so I could have it on my screen.
Oh, I see.
And now I don't remember where I put it. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. Here we go. I'm pulling it up.
You should write it on your character sheet so you can, as you remove the patches, you can take them off.
Yeah, I'll just write it. I meant to do that and I just haven't done it. Okay, so what are we doing to it again? What'd you guys ask for? Something on top of it? I got your sack. I got your 50-foot long rope. I got 10-foot poles. You need a steel mirror? Got you covered, baby. I got one iron door and a horse. Anyone need a horse?
The rope.
Oh, shit. Well, I got rope. I'll give you one of these two 50-footers here. I'm talking that way. Here you go. Take the patch
All right, so
off and throw it.
Come on down to Nash Magard's Patch Emporium. We got patches for everything you need.
You rip the patch, the stitching from the patch, and as the patch comes off, the patch transforms into a coiled up 50-foot hempen rope.
Okay. There you go.
And there's now rope in your hand, where there was once a patch.
I'm going to hand the rope to Varel since he suggested it.
What is use rope in 5e?
Huh? What do you mean? For in terms of action economy, or?
No, just like what's the skill? Is it survival? Like use rope in 3.0 was just use rope.
Oh, there's no use rope. It's more abstract than that. If you'd like to know, like, I think like I would definitely lean survival for like roping, like lassoing an animal, perhaps animal handling. Let me see. But let me know what you'd want to do, and I'll call for the roll.
I'd like to tie the book to the podium so it stops jumping around. Make a nice solid base wrapping a bunch around the podium shaft and then up and over the top and kind of exit down so it can't jump off the sides anymore.
Okay, so skill in roping a book to a podium. We're going to go with what would be the? I guess that we could talk about it to be under survival. I think would be rope handling skills personally.
I'm hog tying an animal of sorts.
Yeah, I mean knowledge with knots and stuff like that doesn't require dexterity necessarily. It just requires knowledge on how to do it. There's an element of engineering to it, depending on how. Previously on.
Sorry.
Wow.
I was looking at the cloak and it changed to an MP3 of Bo saying words. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Sorry. Continue. Ignore me.
Okay. Well, it's better that than, I don't know, something else.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a documentary about anal prolapses or something.
Sure.
Yeah. Roll your survival check, please, Varel.
Tying down that book with a 23.
Okay. I was going to say, I need a description of how you tie your book to the podium. Like, very abstract, the instruction.
No. I round the base of it to make
Okay.
kind of a solid noosey sort of structure, and then X over the top, and then probably over the very top of it, tie the big bow, and then loop the things through the holes like I would know how to do in some sort of survival rope
Okay.
Boy
perfect.
Scout thing.
That's good. So you successfully managed to do it. As you do it, the book occasionally jumps and bangs. It makes it like a noise as if its weight is just pounding against the podium. It shifts a little bit, but very slightly, like a heavy thing trying to move. Not a book would not normally be heavy.
How's the podium holding up?
Podium seems fine.
Okay.
The podium itself is a slab of concrete, not wooden, cheap. That wouldn't survive the years. It's a concrete podium.
Excellent. All right, task complete. Calm yourself, book. You are a book.
Keep it together, book.
Now I fear that I have done this thing. We should have tried the door to make sure the book doesn't hold the key to the door.
We could always undo it if it does.
It is a fine knot. It would be very sad to undo it.
During this time, how long does your detect magic last, Diantalis?
I believe
Is it
10
10
minutes.
minutes?
Let
It
me
would've-
just double check.
If it's 10 minutes, that would have elapsed, and you're no longer detecting magic.
Yeah, that's gone.
Okay. Pardon my interruption.
Well, you were saying something. You said, while you're doing this, and then you asked John, did you have a thing to say, Bo?
No, I think that was Kyle. They were in the middle of speaking it.
Oh, all right.
Speaking. Not it. Speaking.
They were speaking it.
They were speaking it.
Would you use the powers of your kinship to open the next door, Hope?
Yeah, I can do that. And I'll walk up to the door and I'll slowly open it. I'll try to.
You attempt to open the door, and you notice that it has a similar lock to the previous door you came through, so it does not open.
Okay, cool. I'll take the key out and I'll put it in and see if it unlocks the door.
They put the key into the keyhole, and it acknowledges the key in a satisfactory way, unlocking something. You hear noises in the steel door latch, and then you press down to have it open, and it opens slowly. There's darkness inside.
I'll step to the side and motion for Varel to take the lead.
Okay. Do you proceed through the door carefully? Do you just proceed through the door? How do you proceed through the door?
I'm not sure if I have light anymore. Would I still have my rock from earlier?
Nash has been maintaining the light stones, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And the dark vision duo are still visioning in the dark.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, then I will put my javelin under my armpit, holding my sword in the hand, and lead with the rock up. Carefully.
You proceed through the doorway into what appears to be a large hallway running both left and right from your location. You can't... There's nothing of note. It's still the gray same brick on the floors and walls. There appears to be places where there are torch holders along the sides of the wall. The passage moves either left or right, but you can't see far enough down to notice anything about the end of either side.
Cool, so we have entered sort of into a hallway that is left and right.
Yeah, T-junction. Like you're on the side of a hallway now.
Are there torches in the torch holes?
No. They're ancient. Everything again, there's cobwebs everywhere, greasy dirt. Old, untraversed in hundreds of years, if not more. Oh, looks like Varel wants to sneeze from all the dust in the, the hallway.
It's not gonna happen. Oh, jeez. Okay, hang on. Okay.
This is great role play. This is the
Oh,
That's fun to watch.
Very dusty. Left or right? It seems this is but a room of the dungeon.
passage is about 10 feet wide.
Ah, big hallway.
Let's go right.
To the right, then.
Right.
Okay. Make your way down the passageway somewhat, and you notice as you get close, there's a door towards the end. This one's rotted. It looks like very old blackened wood. Has a gate, like a metal bars, sort of in a window at the top. It's standing slightly ajar, but you can't see inside with the light's range as you would get close.
A door. And you said it has a hole in it with the grating?
There's a window with the bars, sort of at the top.
I'll look back at the group and hold up my rock and start going for the hole. And I'm just gonna whoop, pop it through the hole.
Okay. Sorry, you're gonna throw it through the hole, or you're gonna just shine it like a flashlight?
Like pop it. So it's on the other side now.
Okay. So you pop the rock into the hole. Make a sleight of hand check, please.
Oh, okay.
Or
Ooh,
or athletics first. No, it's an aiming thing. Let's do sleight of hand.
Okay. 15.
All right. It hits one of the bars. Bing. Makes it, but not hard. It wasn't a hard throw. Just makes a light little steel sound. Echo reverberates. Lands inside. You see what you think to be maybe some more cage bars briefly as the light shines through in the room. More brick. Looks like a small room. It lands on the ground and you see level. And through the crack of the door, you see brick. Everywhere where it's illuminated through your vantage there, you see gray brick.
Say back to the group, it seems we have another room of cells. The jail continues.
Should we search the rooms?
I feel that's wise. And I'll one big hand on the door, push it open in front of me.
Okay. You put the door, you push the door open, and you're greeted with what appears to be a 20-foot by 20-foot room, all gray brick. On the ground is a broken cage. It's the top and the bottom are both brown metal, and the sides are made of bars. Now, it looks like it's been broken. So it sits in the center of the room. It's not attached to any of the walls. And it also has these hoops, these metal hoops at the top of it with old rusted chains all around it. It looks as if it was designed to be hanging at some point, but the chains are all snapped and broken. Examining to see where these things might be hooked up, you notice that the room doesn't continue anywhere else, but there's a long column leading into blackness above you. A shaft of some kind heading straight up. The walls are made completely of gray brick. There's nothing to indicate that there's a ladder or handholds or anything to climb on the sides.
And there's no other cages along the walls, just this one in the middle.
It's just this one cage in the middle. You also notice pulleys, old gears and pulleys, along with the chains.
Seems this is how the prisoners were lowered in to the dungeon. Is the chain still going up the middle, or is it, discarded on the ground?
It's all severed and fallen on the ground. It has the look as if it might have been once suspended from some place you can't see up above, and it had broken and fallen and is just lying in a pile. A more thorough examination, you notice that there's a little skeletal hand hiding under one of the bars that would be like the top part of the cage, the large metal roof of it.
How tall is the roof up? Not the hole, but into darkness, but the roof of this room.
So the ceiling, you can't see the ceiling. Your light extends out 40 feet, like 20 bright light, 40 dim. The darkness extends beyond that. You can't see where it goes. So at least 40 feet, as far as you can tell.
Oh my. Well. Anyone?
Unless anybody can fly up there, maybe we go the other way.
Only one of us can fly, but I can't right now. I am loath to agree with Two-Face over here.
Well, we begin to see the system. This is some sort of preparatory room where they were lowered in before they were taken to the mid-hallway. We can assume then that the other side is some sort of guard entrance, and we'll be able to use it. And I'll turn us back around into the hallway and start heading that way carefully.
Okay. So you make your way down back towards the door that you came in from that ritual-looking room. You do hear a faint, like, coming from that room. The book appears to continue to be hopping on its podium, even though it's restrained, as you look in to make sure it still is. You continue on down the other way until you see a steel door, and the steel door is very nondescript, but it looks a lot like the other doors from the ritual room that you've seen.
Keyhole and all?
Yes, same sort of keyhole and handle for opening on the right side.
Since we're in a 10-foot hallway, I will comfortably step to the side and motion Hope forward.
Cool. Hope will pull out the key, put it in. Hopefully it unlocks it and open the door.
Okay. Again, you put the key into the keyhole, turn it. There's a satisfactory click of machinery releasing the locking mechanism. You push down, the door opens slightly. How do you proceed with entering into the room?
Well, with the door open, I'll take a step back and let Varel lead in.
Okay, so the door pulls towards you. So as you pull it, Varel, you look in and you see, with your light, looks like bookshelves. It's hard to make out the far ends of the room. Immediately on your left and right against the walls are old rotted wooden bookshelves. Some of the slats have slid a bit. There's in front of you, there's a large wall shelf in the middle of, just placed in the middle of the room of bookshelves. And as you peer around, it's like a full-on library of books.
I advise no reading. We don't have enough rope for such things.
I like it.
And I'll lead us in.
Okay, you move in. It's just, you move right into the room. There are books everywhere, many bookshelves. Everyone begins to walk in. It's hard to tell where you're oriented. You spend a few minutes looking around the room and gather that there are about 20 different bookshelves forming up about 4 rows. And towards the far corner of the room is another door, similar to the one that you opened.
Before we proceed, I would like to take a moment to recast the Detect Magic ritual. Most of these books are probably lost to time, but magic has a way of keeping certain items around longer. Might make us find something useful.
Yeah.
Very
Right.
well.
And do Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay. So for the next 10 minutes, Diantalis stands there. Do you want to describe how it is you cast something as a ritual? Does it require reagents or things of that nature? What does Detect Magic require?
Let's take a look. It requires Verbal and somatic. So,
Somatic is arm gesture. No,
Yeah.
emetic is arm gestures, right?
yes. So, Diantalis would...
Somatic is I forget.
gestures. Verbal, voice, somatic is hand gestures.
What's mimetic
So-
then?
What's what?
Mimetic.
I don't know.
I forget. Mimetic's
Not
the
one
other
that
one.
pops up here. The other one's material.
Oh, there's no mimetic. Emma's material.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I don't know where I got mimetic from then. What does that even mean? I don't even know.
He sits down, cross-legged, head down, begins muttering and just gesturing lightly with his hands very quickly
Okay,
for
perfect.
10 minutes.
All right. So 10 minutes elapses. And then you're then awash with a sort of feeling / vision of the energies around you. So let me hang on. Get to your. I need to see the spell so I can find out what information I will be revealing to you. I'm on Stanley's page. That's why.
Don't want
Let
to be
me
there.
find your spell here. Detect magic.
I tried to make it easier by making Diantalis all blue ghosty.
Yeah, no, it's good. You sense the presence of magic. If magic, you can use your action to see a faint aura around visible creature, object, in an area that bears magic, and you learn at school. Cool. Okay, so you sense magic, the presence of magic all around you, emanating from all of the books.
Does it feel similar to what I felt in the other room?
No,
Different.
it's a yes, different.
Do I know what
Distinctly
school,
different.
or is it a...
You have to use your action to do that.
Right, I will use my action to try to discern the school of magic.
Okay, so you learn that the DM doesn't know what school of magic it is.
Do you want me to send you the list? Because I have them ready.
Yep, send it to
Okay.
me.
Here.
I don't have them memorized.
It's on this page just a little ways down. There's a little table inside in the page that says
Okay.
the schools of magic.
But while that loads up, I will tell you that the magic in the room does seem to concern the books themselves specifically. That you can tell. You see invisibly a kind of thread around them. And let's see. I don't know. Here doesn't. I gotta look for it through all this stuff. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Abjuration would be the school.
Based on what I'm sensing around these books, every single one of them seems to have magic touching them, and the magic could potentially be harmful if tampered with.
Are they
So
like
don't
the other
touch
book?
the books.
Is it like the others with like someone in it, a demon in it?
No, it is different on these books.
Or this is the jail. These are the cells. Every book in here, translated on the pentagram in the earlier room, trapped inside, is the tieflings of this old castle.
Damn, says Nash.
It is entirely possible. If we're going to put Varel's theory to the test, I would recommend Hope be the one to experiment with the book. Another theory I have is that that key marks you as a warden of this place, which is why you have been able to proceed unharmed.
I mean, what would I even do to interact with the books?
It's entirely up to you if you do to begin with. I simply warn you that these could have dangerous repercussions of messing with them.
By the gods, this could be it. We get a bus and we fill it with books. A sort of reading bus. And That's the army. Everywhere we go, we would have a tiefling army with us. We wouldn't have to feed them. We release them, bind them to our service when we fight the principal. They pop out, fulfill their vows, and then they are free.
Varel, I would never bind my people to you.
Well, you would be the queen of the tieflings, of course.
Okay, that's a bit better.
And then as a sort of governorship, you could bequeath your tiefling empire to my service. For your service. For your soul is trapped, not mine.
Hope will start reading the titles of the books. She won't touch anything, though. See
The
if
books
any
are
titles
are stored, so you'd have to read them on the spines.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because they're not facing outwards; they're like shelved up side by side. You notice, unfortunately, that most of these books, or all of them, don't have anything written on the spines.
Okay.
Find a weak-looking book. A thin one.
All right. Hope will look for a thin book. A
Okay.
weak-looking book.
That could be a trick. That could be a trick.
You look around through the bookshelves and then come across something that looks thin. Looks perhaps like a soft cover, 100 pages, but you haven't touched it. You're just sort of guessing that from its spine and from what you can
Jeez.
see.
It's gonna be bad.
Did we want to even try this? I'll do it, but only if everyone's in agreement.
I will admit that I'm very curious what would happen, but as somebody who spent a considerable amount of time as a prisoner, I'm not anxious to test my own personal luck yet. You, on the other hand, I'm more than willing to risk.
Hope will give a little smirk.
Our history with companions, if it does spawn such a person, is not good.
Yeah.
These aren't answers. All right, and I'll grab the little one and pull
All
it
right,
out.
you grab the little book and pull it out. It's now in your hand. You look at the cover, and you see written in a language that you understand. It's infernal. It says Yirlak Exigial. It says Poems for My Love by Griggy.
It's a book of love poetry by Gricky. And then I'll open the book to the first page.
You open it to the first page, and you see in infernal. It says, "To my greatest love and friend, S."
All right, I'll flip to the
Dedication on the
next
first
one.
page. Flip to
To
the next
the
page.
person's
Find a table.
dedication.
Find a table of contents.
I'll read through the table of contents.
It's also noted. It's written in handwriting. This was scribed and
Oh.
not printed.
Oh, well, this is touching. I'll open the book up to the center and just kind of glance through the poems there.
Okay. Yeah, you open up to a random page in the center, and you find the beginning of a poem called "Your Beautiful Horns."
Nothing's happening. It's just a book of love poetry. It's handwritten.
Lover, show yourself.
You don't understand what's in the book. She doesn't. Oh, she said it was love poems. Never mind. Okay, you're good. Continuity preserved.
Yep.
And then I'll flip to the back, the end, to see if there's anything there.
You flip to the end, and you see the last page of whatever poem was last, and it just ends with a little page to separate the back cover and the last page of text, and that's it.
Maybe not all the books are magical. Maybe some are just random. How are we gonna know?
Wave it in Diantalis' face.
Do it.
It's a book of love poetry. I'm not going to disrespect it like that.
No, it would.
This is very precious.
But does
you
it
believe
have?
Diantalis reading a book is disrespectful?
Is there any magic in
No.
it? If there's no magic in it, then we're looking at the wrong books.
I'll close it up and put it back on the shelf. And then I'll roll a perception to see if I notice any titles that seem out of place or might be more magical. Hint at something more.
So the book, you can't use perception in this
Oh,
manner.
that's right, because you can't.
So tell me what you want me to do, and I'll tell you if a roll is required.
I can still see the books, so I'm just looking for maybe one that's a bit more decorated, thicker than others. The pages are maybe more expensive. Something
Okay,
that seems
you
a bit more precious.
Look around at the bookshelf in front of you, looking for something more ornate, perhaps.
Yeah.
Say thing. And your attention is drawn to, on the same shelf as the love poem, there's appears to be a book with a rather large spine. Looks like almost omnibus edition of some large text. Has a sort of like an opal fastened into the spine, and some interesting layers over top of like leather. It's like leather bound, but then there's another layer of leather.
Cool. I'll go to pull that one.
Okay. You remove it from the shelf, and it's quite heavy. And you flip it over to view the title, and it says in Infernal, and this is a pretty difficult translation because the words seem quite long. Appears to be a dissertation on various pipe techniques for constructing irrigation systems and farms.
Oh. I'll flip through it.
You flip through it, and again, it's handwritten, scribed. As you flip through it, it appears, you see some diagrams, and it appears to be about how to construct various types of pipes and pipe fittings, and how best to create pumps. There's a section on pumps, and how to build them in such a way as to efficiently carry water to farm. And the book appears very specifically concerned in very technical jargon on the construction of pumps and irrigation systems for spraying water on farms. And the words in there are very specific to what you imagine Tiet Kala's irrigation systems are. You did not visit the farms, but you were aware of their existence from Charlemagne. And this isn't like some general thing from some place. This was written by a tiefling author for the express purpose of preserving knowledge of how to lay pipes and run pipe underground to make watering systems for its farms.
Cool. I'll tell the group it's about irrigation, and I'll close it up and put it back.
Okay.
Maybe we just can't take the books out of here. Maybe that's the magic.
It's possible, or it could be, as I said, that you are marked as a resident here by the key you possess. We could have Nash take a book and see if anything different happens.
Okay.
Whoa, Nash! Nash!
I'll do
If
a
the
book.
books bite off your arms and you bleed, Diantalis will feast on you. This is a trick.
Yeah, it could be a trick, but
It's definitely a trick.
I mean,
But think of all the knowledge we would gain at the same time.
Sacrifices.
He can't even read the
Win-win.
books.
maybe we should have her open all. Hope should open all books, because if she's protected by being the key keeper here, there's no chance of trouble from her. But maybe she could throw one that's suspect on the ground, and I could circle around it and poke it with my I don't have my stick. I could throw something at it, and if it doesn't like me, then we'll know that these are only going to be innocent little poetry books for her, but heinous flesh-eating bastards to us.
So you're saying you want Hope to throw a book on the ground and you're going to hover around it?
Yes. Or something.
Sure.
I need to poke at it. I've got a blade here. I can poke at it and see if it reacts to me differently than
Why
her.
don't you just touch a book? You don't have to pull it out. Just touch one.
Like the worst peer pressure from your friends ever. Just touch a book.
They're magic. What's the harm?
All right. I am going to do that. Fine,
Okay.
I'm touching a book.
Are you looking for anything specific, or just gonna do whatever?
I'm looking for one that is I want boy, that's a great question. No, just a random one, just something in the
Okay, you
everyone's
just pull
view.
out the first book. There's this brown-looking, tattered book. Whatever. You didn't even look. You pull it. And you grab it, or just touch it.
Just touch it first. I just go like this
Context is
first.
so
Let's do
important.
this first.
Don't-
Just tap.
Okay,
Just
you
tap
touch it, and
yeah.
there's no reaction.
Nothing at all.
You touch it, pull back, and nothing happens.
Okay, now I want to reach out and grab it and pull it out.
Okay,
I'm
reach
gonna-
out and you grab a book, pull it out, and you
Hold
have
it-
it held up in
I'm
between
holding it like
your
this.
index and thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nothing's happening.
Okay. I'm going
Sword
to.
at the ready.
Yes, please. I'm going to drop it on the floor.
No,
do so?
It's
Nash!
You
okay.
drop it on the floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it on the floor.
Done.
All right. Is it face? Did it open? Is it flat? Like, what's the position of it now that it's fallen?
It dropped closed,
Okay.
flat on the ground.
All right.
It's title facing up.
I'm gonna pull out the dagger I have in my inventory, which has
No, Nash, do not stab that book!
I'm not gonna stab it, Hope. I promise. I'm just gonna open it. So hang on a second, and I'm gonna squat down, kind of. I don't know. My Korean brother does this all the time. Just squat really tight.
Squatting?
Yeah.
The Korean culture's so weird.
Yeah, he's so good at squat. He can squat for 3 hours and not have it hurt or bug him or lose blood. Anyway, so I'm gonna get down there.
Oh my god.
Not
You
have a
alright,
what?
Scott?
I mean, blood circulation is what I meant. Circulation.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take my little knife blade and I'm just gonna reach way out, put one hand on the ground, reach way out, and just flick open the cover and then back up.
You flick open the cover, and a few pages, due to the velocity of flipping it,
Okay.
a few pages flip open, and it settles open on some pages.
All right.
You see infernal text.
I'll lean in and go. I don't speak this language, but it doesn't appear to be doing anything. And I'll knife forward a little more into the pages, like just dig into the flesh of the pages and flick it.
Yep, you flip a few pages, and then you get to a page that is quite erotic. There's a naked woman riding a man in a field.
In a field?
Yep.
Is it unique or basic?
It's like a pop art. I don't know. It's just like somebody's crude
I mean,
drawing.
like pop
of
up
this-
book? Like if we,
No,
if
no,
we
not a
pulled little-
pop-up book. It's just a cartoon style
pop-up book
drawing
now.
of a pornographic image.
All right. I'm going to go, ooh. Now we're getting somewhere, and look behind me to see if anyone has a face on their face.
Behind you.
As a pop-up.
You look behind you at another bookshelf.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna flip past the porny man riding over or whatever's going on there, and keep going. I'm gonna keep flicking.
You keep flipping. There's more text.
I'll flick till the end if nothing stops me.
You keep flipping, and you find a few more pornographic
The right
images.
book for it.
Yeah.
It seems like they're the same characters. The pictures the artists have drawn have made them look sort of similar. So maybe it's a storybook of some erotic nature.
Okay. Well, I'll get to the end of it and go, well, all right, I guess this isn't one of the books. It didn't jump out and bite my face. Sorry, Diane Tallis. Didn't really
Trust
work out.
me, I'm far more disappointed than you.
So,
Anyway, now we've learned something. Shall we proceed?
Hope we'll go pick up the book and put it back.
Okay, you pick up the book entitled "Lustful Fields."
I grab her and go,
Also
aren't you
by-
curious? Aren't you curious? What does it say in there? There's a lot of
That
sexy
one-
time
oh.
in there.
Well, all you had to do is ask. The title is Lustful Fields. Now, what do you want me to read from it?
Nothing. I just want to know why. What's the deal here? Why they're two? What's the drawings about? Like, what is it? Just about two people doing it?
Drawing. And I'll flip through and see what kind of drawings he's talking about while scanning the text.
Yeah, I
to
mean, you
get
find
at it.
you find the pornographic images. It appears to be from the words that are jumping out at you, and you stop. There's a tiefling farmer out on the farms here in Tiet Kala, and he loves the wife of another tiefling, and he ends up to having is it a tryst, an affair?
Yeah.
With her, and they keep it secret from the husband, and he wants to be with her, so he plots to kill her husband, and she helps him, and then they kill her husband, and they live happily ever after, but have lots of sex in between, the key plot points.
Yeah, well,
Saucy.
that's what it's about.
50 Shades of Grain, says the chat. That's pretty good.
Would it
All
not
right.
make more sense for the two husbands to work together to impregnate the wife?
Well, maybe in Lizard Town, but
I can't wait till we go to a lizard folk place. It'll be great.
But wouldn't you want to know it's your offspring?
They could fight for the woman instead of these devious field lovings. Perhaps that is why there are so few tieflings in the world.
Field loving.
well, clearly this book is horseshit. It doesn't do anything. So maybe
Puts it back in the shelf.
maybe Diane Talus could poke around in the shelves and see if he can find anything, since he's so attuned to the magic therein.
No, thank you.
Then
Shall
we move on.
Proceed? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's fine.
Okay, making your way through the bookshelves, you notice that there's another door similar to that one, but in the opposite corner of the room. It takes some way to get to. Doors similar to the ones before it, but Diane Talus, as your magic fades, you detect magic from this door.
Did I get any sort of type on it? Is it the same as the books?
It is similar to the books. Abjuration School, and it was not present on the previous doors that you went through.
I think, honestly, with the books kind of being a bust and Nash already ribbing him for it, I don't think Diane Talus tells anybody about it.
Okay, so the rest of the players, you did not hear that last thing, wipe it from your memory.
All right. Well, we approach the door. I once again step aside and motion Hope to.
Cool. Is there a keyhole on it?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'll put the key in the hole and I'll turn and see if we can open the door.
You put the key in the hole and turn it, and you hear the satisfying clink, 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 clink. But then you hear a different sound. You hear, and the key shoots out, and then you hear a slam behind you. And as you look and peer, you see the door behind you has been closed. And then you hear clunk, 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 as if something's tightening behind the walls.
Something's tightening behind the walls.
I'll go pick up the key wherever that shot off to.
Yeah, it's on the ground in front of the door.
Okay, I'll pick that up and pocket it. And then look around.
Okay, you look
Listening.
around, you peer, and it's silent for a moment. The party just waits to see what's about to happen. All you can see are books and bookshelves, the light from the light stones. And then the books jump off the shelves, and they fly all around the room. And one grapples your face. Oh,
Oh!
grapple check.
Book grapple.
17.
Okay, you manage to swat it away, Varel. The books fly all around as books start flying off the bookshelves everywhere, swirling around the room. Place is filled with books, and one tries to grapple your face. Stanley, Diane Talus, books also try to assault your face as you try to break them off. Everyone make a grapple check, please.
I got a natural 20.
Okay, you knock the book away.
You said that so chill.
I know, I was actually really excited about it, and then I remembered I'm playing Diane Talus. I gotta be cool.
Yeah.
25.
17.
Okay. Varel, you also notice the books assaulting you. you swing your hand, knock it away, but Nash, unfortunately, you get a book attached to your face, and it's the pornographic book, and you have a big it's the picture of the woman riding the man in the field that is stuck to your face, and you can't see anything, and it's attached right now, like onto your face. Everyone roll for initiative.
Oh my lord. 17 was a good roll. Just saying.
Yeah, but it's a contest. I rolled better in your case.
I know.
20 for initiative.
It's an excitable book.
Nat 20.
So add your modifier to that.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
have
duh.
an initiative modifier?
Sorry, I got so excited. No, I don't have an initiative modifier, do I? Do I?
Okay.
No, I don't.
So Nash and Stanley have the same rolls. Varel Hope,
14.
14 for Varel,
7.
7 for Hope. All right. And just taking it all in for a moment, there are books everywhere. Hundreds of books flying around, and they appear to be congregating in the corners and then winding up and then firing themselves at you as books hit your stomach and your head. You're like, bah, ah, ah. Everyone's just getting pummeled with books. Pow, 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 pow. All right, Nash, it is your turn. There are books everywhere in the room.
This one's on my face and I can't see.
That's right. So you're also blinded, essentially.
Does that mean I roll disadvantage on anything that I do?
You're grappled, but you can move freely, unlike a normal grapple, but you are blinded.
Okay. I still have that dagger in my hand
Mm-hmm.
from when I was flipping pages, so I am going to bring that up to my face and jam it into the flesh of the jacket of the book and try to pry it off
So you're
my
gonna go
face.
like that. Ah!
Not straight in, no, that's a bad idea. But like, you know, a book would be like this to your face. I want to
It's on your face right now.
I want to grab it with this hand and just, with this other hand, just jam it up into the little spine of the book or somewhere I can take hold and try to peel the thing off of me.
Okay. Attack roll. We'll do that
Alright.
as an attack roll.
All right. 16.
Okay. You jam it in. Whoonk. The life force from it appears to wilt, and you just easily like whoosh, as you stab it and pull it off, and you have a book stuck to your dagger.
Okay. I guess that's all I have. I'll
Stanley.
wait now. Yeah.
All right. I'm assuming they're all right up in my business, right?
They're everywhere.
Okay. I am going to cast Sword Burst,
Mm-hmm.
which means every creature within 5 feet of me has to make a Dex 16 save.
Okay. Okay. Some
right.
fail, some do not.
Everyone that failed is going to take 8 force damage.
Okay. And so what does a sword burst look like? You
Concentrate, say a word, and suddenly spectral blades swirl out around me, just arcing through everything in a circle around me.
okay, they arc in a circle around you, taking out 8 books.
Ooh, take that, books.
The books, they slice through them, slice them in half as they fall to the floor. Pages are everywhere around you. There's a big cloud of pages all around you.
And then, why not? Just to try and take out more books, because we're surrounded as a bonus action, I'll pull out Diplomacy, send it to go try and strike some books.
Okay. Attack roll.
That's going to be 13 to hit.
Okay. Yep, that's a hit.
Okay. 6 damage.
Okay, so Diplomacy flies on out, skewering 6 books as per your direction.
Book kebab.
Yeah, it's now got 6 books skewered atop it. All right, the books then, a large pile of them, almost like in this large worm-like way as they follow each other, just sort of swirl around the room and then gather up in a big cloud and fire at all 4 of you from the corner. see here. All right, Varel, you're taking the 20, the nat 20. As books from all directions come firing out, hitting you, you take 17 points of damage, 1 per each book hit, as 17 books descend upon you, hitting your noggin. You're like, ah! And it hits your chest, and a book hits your shoulder, and then you're just like, ah! As books like are railing you like a machine gun. And then it's your turn.
I assume they're coming at great velocity. They must be to
Yes.
cause that kind of
Yeah.
damage. All right.
There's 1 damage per book. There's a mass of them.
All right.
And the mass is continuing.
Yeah, but it's your turn, so they're it's perpetual, but given the way 5e works, the damage will take place on their turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, books do hit you and don't cause any damage as well, but that time there was a particularly vicious assault of books.
Cool. And we're surrounded by all these shelves.
Yes,
All
so
right.
about 5 foot of clearance between each bookshelf.
I am going to enter my rage because these books piss me off. I am going to use my action. All right, the shelves are in rows.
Yeah.
I want to kick the shelf over and start a domino effect
Okay.
of the shelves.
Perfect. You do that.
I'm going to do that with advantage because I'm raging. A 20. Oh, I got my strength back. A 23 on strength.
All right. Roll damn. So this works probably like a shove, which I don't have up in front of me, but okay. So are you intending, as part of this action, is to cause damage to books, right? So you should
The main-
damage dice.
The main goal is to knock and domino as many of these to open up the room into a larger field of vision.
Gotcha. Okay, then you do so, kicking it over. You don't need to roll damage dice for it because you're attacking the bookshelf and not the books themselves. So you do successfully kick over the bookshelves because they're only about 5 feet high. So as you kick them over, you now have full vision of the room.
Excellent. And then I will use my move action to move to the center of the room, and I'll do my flame burst in the 10 aura radius around me.
Okay, and how much damage does it do?
That is now.
Flame
3
burst. It's a
damage?
save. Everyone saves for half, right?
No, the flame is automatic damage.
Oh, perfect. 3.
I need to find it again. It might be 2 or 3. Storm aura. Take fire damage based on your level. 3.
Okay, perfect. So you get in the center of the room and fire bursts out in front of you, and a seemingly countless number of books rise up in flame, like 50 of them. You just burst them all, and they all start catching on fire, and now they're flying around on fire. And many of them fall, but some of them remain up, flying around.
Excellent.
Okay, Hope.
All right, Hope will pull out her Bowie knife, and she'll just start cutting at anything that gets too close to her.
So as a ready to action, or as soon as
Those are
something attacks you?
her attacks.
Okay.
Since the books are going all around, she'll aim at the ones that are closest to her.
Okay, roll your attack rolls then.
Okay, the first one is an 8,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is a 22.
Okay, you get 1 hit.
All right, the damage would be 8.
All right, you swing the Bowie knife around, slicing at anything comes near you. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Taking out 8 of the books. Is there
Cool.
anything else you'd like to do?
Nope.
Nash, it's your turn. You
Okay.
have a book on your Bowie knife, or your regular dagger, I mean.
It's off my face now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
stuck to your dagger.
Cool. Can you tell me what kind of damage these are doing? Is it bludgeoning?
Yes,
Okay.
that would be your best guess, since, they're not sharp.
Yeah, it's definitely not piercing or slashing. So what I'm going to do is cast Blade Ward.
Mhm.
This extends my hand, traces a sigil of warding in the air. Until the end of my next turn, I have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage by all weapon attacks.
Great.
So I'm going to cast that, and there's nothing but it's just self-cast. There's no saving throw. There's no nothing. I just
Nope,
cast
you
it.
now have that buff. Is it concentration?
Nope. It just says. Nope. It just says cast on self. Let's see. Effect in combat.
And its duration is like a minute or something like that,
Yeah,
probably?
it's 1 round duration. So by the time I get to my next turn,
It'll be done.
it'll be gone.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm gonna
Anything
cast
else you'd like
that.
to do with your turn?
Yep, I'm going to cast that. That counts as an action. And then, I'm going to do a... Oh, can I do this, though, without the knife? Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can even do this. Basically, what I want to do is I just want to flick that book that's on the knife off into some corner somewhere.
Sure, you can do that.
All right, so I'm just going to
Free
go...
action. That's your free action. You flick it off.
Yeah, and I just go, "Brrr," and I flick it that direction against whatever wall or thing or other book is in my way.
Excellent.
And that is my turn.
Diantalis.
All right, we're gonna have diplomacy try and add more to its kebab.
Mm-hmm.
With a 15 to hit.
Okay, roll damage dice.
That's a 12.
Okay, it continues weaving through the sky, piercing flaming books and books alike. The one that it grabs, it flames, lets the other books on fire, and now your sword is a full flaming kebab as it impales 12 more books and runs out of space to impale anymore.
Okay, it's good to know. And then, kind of seeing that the potential to hit more books exists with Eldritch Blast, because I can line them up maybe, I'm gonna fire 2 beams of Eldritch Blast at the books.
Okay.
So, beam 1 is a 17 plus 8 to hit. I'm guessing that hits.
Mm-hmm.
So that beam is going to do... that's going to do 8 damage.
Okay.
Beam number 2 is going to be an 18 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is also 8 damage.
Perfect. So 16 total?
Yes.
All right. So your Eldritch Blast creaks out and extends to 16 different books and explodes them into piles of pages. The room is now filled completely with pages, making it difficult for everyone to see. And is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
No, that's the end of my turn.
All right, there are pages, flaming pages, regular pages, swirling everywhere. But another cloud of books circles up in one of the corners, and they're not like, some of them are open and chomping, and some of them are closed and just spinning like ninja stars, and they're just like flying around. They all rear up in the corner and assault the party. Hope you're safe. They fire around you. You get behind a piece of bookshelf. Diantalis, you were not safe. And let us roll.
That's a shame.
By the way, I don't know if I told you, Varel, but that one that I had was a crit. I don't know. I should have mentioned that.
Oh, yeah.
The last one. Yeah. So you take, but you do take 12 points of damage. Stan or Diantalis, as books, these ninja star style books, just like start pummeling your head. You're like, there's like 12 books assault your body. Nash. Well, you're safe. The books swirl around you and miss, and you're like dodging with your sweet cape. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait, did they miss?
Varel,
Did they miss despite, regardless of whether I had my ward up or not?
Yeah, they just didn't hit you.
Shit. All right.
Like I have to make a roll.
No. It's all good. I'm just sad about the way it went.
And then Varel, the books continue to assault you. I believe an 18 will hit you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you take another 11 points of damage as books just like they rail your body viciously.
Sweet
Okay,
volume
Varel,
raging, so half damage 6.
Yep, it's bludgeoning, so half probably in your case. 6. Yeah, sure. It is your turn. Varel.
Excellent. I will see the books assaulting my party and face me, demons! And I will swing at the air with Maw Storm and do my 2 attacks at books. Particularly if there's a mass in some sort of corner, I would approach it and
Okay.
begin assaulting it. So 2 attacks with Maw Storm. One is a nat 20, and one is a That's 10.
Okay, perfect. They're both hits.
Oh, sweet. Well, the nat 20 is 8, 7, 15, 17, 21 points of damage.
Okay, total for. You can give me your your total for all of it.
Cool. And then the second one was 5, 9. So 30 points of damage total.
All right, so you rear up and begin going to town as you just swing your sword all around. You nearly clip Nash in the head as the sword is like such a small space. Your party is also dodging you in addition to your sword swings, and you're just like cleaving swords, and just like just cleaving at books in the air and swatting them out, cutting them in half, pinning them to the wall, and just going nuts. And you take out 30 books on your turn.
Damn.
Excellent. Bonus action, flame burst.
Okay.
As I scream, "You were to be my servants, and you betray me!"
All right, flame burst. Let me roll my saves, I guess. Okay. How much? That's 3 damage. So you take out another 10 books around you as you've already assaulted most of what's near you. The flame burst sets 10 more books on fire, and they blow up in flaming pages. There still appears to be a healthy amount of books flying around as the place is in complete chaos. Nash, it's your turn.
Do I have any? How's my visibility on the rest of the team?
Now, you can see everybody, but you have to it's difficult. There's pages, there's flaming pages, there's books flying everywhere. There are these long chains of ninja star floating things swirling around in these clusters of it's like a school of fish swimming almost, as these books walk around in clouts looking for a target to assault. There are countless number of books on the wall.
All right.
Oh, wait, we're on to Hope.
yeah.
We missed Hope if we went to Nash.
Oh,
go
my
Hope,
bad.
go Hope,
We
go
didn't miss
Hope.
Hope. Sorry. Thank you for pointing it out.
Yep.
You also
Cool.
see this, Hope.
Awesome. I will just keep stabbing things around me, trying to take down as many books as I can.
Okay, make your attack rolls.
All right. First attack roll is a 25,
Mm-hmm.
and the second is a 19.
Okay, both hits. Roll the damages.
All right. Damage for the first one is 8,
Mhm.
and damage for the second one is 5.
Okay, perfect. So that's 13. Okay. All right. You swing. You stab, pinning books to walls whenever they come by. It seems to be the most efficient way. He's like king, king, and then just king. The knife isn't really effective for swinging like Hope like Varel's sword is, but you're able to pluck them out of the air and just put your knife through them and then break it off and put it in again as you begin becoming more efficient at taking out the books. And as you say that, you hear this little blink, blink, and these little pieces of brick on the 4 corners of the wall open up, and you hear as a large pile of marbles on all 4 corners starts spilling on out into the and they just pouring out these 4 waterfalls of marbles are pouring out from all 4 corners, and they're it's loud on the ears. This place is with all the swinging and lightning happening from Dying Talus, and now these large amount of marbles start to spill out onto the ground, and they start flowing everywhere on the ground. There are marbles now covering the entire ground, and they fill and get close to you, rolling past all the pages that are burning on the ground. Nash, it is your turn.
You say marbles? These are round, like little round marbles.
Steel marbles.
Do we perceive they're meant to make us trip and fall and stuff?
Yeah, the ground is slowly becoming covered in marbles.
Shit.
If you move anywhere, if you have to step anywhere and move, you have to tread carefully.
Okay, I'm going to stay where I'm at. I would like to target one of these columns of swirling books that you described.
Mhm.
Not just
Yeah.
random pages or books in the air, but one of these columns. And I would like to cast bolt. Not ball.
Mhm.
Everyone calm down. No ball. I'm going to do firebolt. Fire seems to be pretty effective. I noticed this from Varel, and I'm going to say the following as I do it. Okay? This battle is down to the wire. These books are dicks. Eat my fire. And I go, woo, and I throw one over at that stuff.
All right,
let me
roll your attack roll.
Attack roll. Here we go. 13.
All right, it's a hit. Roll your 2d10.
Okay. That would be a grand total of 8 damage points.
And your suspicion is confirmed as the firebolt springs out and swirls around, and it seems to just, even if it grazes something, it lights the books on fire. You deal double the amount of damage that you would otherwise, totaling 16, and 16 books burst into flame. And as the firebolt pierces 16 of them.
Sweet.
And
All
the
right.
room begins to clear up from books. But the book's assault is unabated. Diantelis, it is your turn.
All right.
There are marbles all around your feet.
Let me know if this is doable. If not, I can try something else. But now that diplomacy is properly coded in books, can I make it swing into books like a big blunt cudgel?
Yeah, also some of them are flaming, so the whole sword is on fire at this point.
Great. I want to do that.
Okay, you want to swing it, like you want to whirlwind it around?
Yeah, I want to have it, instead of stabbing, now it's spinning. Now it's a spinning sword of death.
All right, make an attack roll.
Natural 20.
All right, roll your damage dice.
Yay. Uh, 10.
Okay. Because it's flaming, it'll deal double the amount of damage, and you have it positioned so that it swirls around Vorel's head. Now, Vorel's swinging, and over top of him, sort of as books try to assault him, this flaming circle of this bludgeoning sword is hovering above him, knocking them away and setting them on fire, just above his head area.
I like everything about this. While that is going on, I will fire 2 more Eldritch Blast bolts. I'm not even kidding, and it's with the same dice. Natural 20 for the first beam.
All right, cheater, roll your damage dice.
I swear!
Oh.
This is my new dice. I'm going to use it forever. That's
You
not
realize
the right dice.
if there's a dice that rolls too many 20s, I will force you to not use it.
Yeah, you have that power, right?
But
Yeah.
what if it's a dice with 20s on every side?
Yeah,
It's
that.
rolling.
No.
perfectly
Oh, in that
fine.
case, then
I
that's
mean-
fine. I've been outmaneuvered legally.
That is a 15 on the first beam.
Okay.
And on the second beam, it's the same dice and it betrayed me now. It is let's see. It's a 12 to hit.
Okay. So that's a total of 28 books that you. While your bludgeoning sword is there, and all around Vorel, you're just catching them as Vorel's about to get hit with them, just like. And you are, like, it's force damage, so I guess with the blast, it just pushes them into walls and just explodes them on the wall. All right, Vorel, your turn.
All right. So the mass is disappearing. The books are being handled.
Yeah.
Looking at the wall, is there any stem to this tide of marbles?
They're now fully down on the ground. They've during this round they've emptied out and are now all on the floor.
Okay. I will. Any more masses of books worth targeting?
There's a few. I mean, you can't do a count in the seconds there, but you've definitely thinned them out by several hundred at this point.
Okay. I will remain where I am then and continue to swing at books and thin the line. And a 9 and a 19.
One hit.
16 points of damage.
Okay, and you continue swinging. This time you're swinging so much and so hard, you just end up in a whirlwind, and you're now spinning in the center of the room, just racking books on your sword, splitting them up, and you destroy another 16 books.
Excellent. And then a flame burst.
Okay, and that's saves. And you finish off with a flame burst, blowing up the rest of the books around you, and the room falls into silence. Except for one book, Hope, floating straight at you. It makes its attack, but not before you can also attack it. Time slows down, and the camera pans in on your eyes. And then it pans in on the book.
Flip the knife in the air, grab the handle, and stab.
All right, and as you stab it, it goes, and then it cuts to Nash's face, and then Diane Talus's eyes, and then Varel's eyes, and then the book flying, and you stabbing it. Make your attack roll.
Natural 20.
Okay, so it tries to ninja star itself into your face, but you are too quick, and you react quickly and stab it into the wall, and it's the last of the books.
I hate this library.
Let's take a break.
Yep. Perfect timing. Perfect
Sweet.
timing. Thanks, everybody. Hang tight. We'll be back in moments from now. Well, few minutes.
Yeah, keep tight, hang still. That makes
Hang
sense.
still,
Yep.
keep tight, and we'll be back shortly with more There Will Be Dungeons. Don't go anywhere.